Okay. Just getting started here. Okay, I think we're good to go. Just doing some final checks here. That looks fine. Alright. Okay, you guys are responding to the music, that's good. I always just like pull up a long play. Well, not a long play, but like a long session. But just like some random jazz or lo-fi. I normally lo-fi, but I also like throwing in jazz in there too. This is the Morning Jazz with Mario stuff. It is from Nostalgia? I think that's the name of the channel, yeah. Okay. Real quick before I switch over to the main cam, everyone can hear me just fine. Just making sure. Hell, even if you type no, I know that you have to acknowledge me saying that in order to say that. Oh, excellent. Okay, cool. I think it is pronounced lo-fi, Mako, because you don't pronounce it as Wi-Fi or hi-fi if you go back to like the VHS days. Yeah, you also don't say sci-fi as sci-fi unless it's spelled S-Y-F-Y. Okay, switching over to the main cam. Avert your eyes. I'm hideous. I still have not shaved my head. I'm probably gonna do that late tonight. Got a booger in my nose. These are the things that I think anyone that decides to put their mug on in front of a webcam asks themselves. To me, it's always, do I have any shit on my shirt and is there a booger in my nose? Because sometimes I'll catch myself when I'm editing something and I was like, man, there's a goddamn booger in my nose. There was, I forgot what Versus video I was working on that I had to redo an entire live shot from the couch because there was just something in my nose that I didn't see and it is just out there in full blast. It's like, well, I can either meticulously edit every individual frame and just remove it in post, or I can just shoot it again and just make sure I don't have something in my nose this time. And like that took like half an hour of my life just getting those reshots done. Should have just done the Scary Movie 3 thing and have it get bigger between shots. It's like the mole. No, I'm thinking of that's not Austin Powers didn't really do that. Austin Powers made fun of like Fred Savage's mole, but it didn't get larger. Okay. So we are back with the next community Q&A now that con season is over. I'm gonna try and make it a thing to start doing these again on a regular basis. And basically, how this works: there is a channel in the community Discord, the Substack, called Community Corner that I ask you to leave your questions in when I go live. None of you did that, as always, because you guys can't read, and that's not surprising at this point. I think a lot of you are also Yu-Gi-Oh players. Makes sense. And that is particularly where I read the questions from. So I'm just going to be spending about like 2 hours, give or take, just shooting the shit and talking with you guys. Sometimes I spend a little too long on one particular question. I do apologize for that. It does depend on what's asked of me and, how loaded it is. But that said, you guys have waited long enough. So let's get to answering some questions here. I think also, I want to apologize if you catch me like adjusting my eyes or my glasses, and if I'm squinting a little more. I just went to the eye doctor a couple of days ago, and I am due for a prescription upgrade, and my new glasses are not due until another week. So until then, I have to make do with my old prescription. Like, it kind of sucks. So hopefully, I'm not going to be able to embarrass myself too much trying to read some of this shit. But okay, so SGM is asking, hey guys, I'm at work, so I won't participate. But you... So what was your highlight for this game? Not so much. All right, I gotta be that guy. I have to be that guy. SGM, you're saying you're at work, so you won't participate. Immediately asks a question anyway, which means you are participating in this. I'm sorry. I just find that funny. But to actually answer your question here, what was your highlight for this game announcement wise in June? Are we just talking about you're not here. You're not here to actually sort of answer this question, but if we're just talking about like what's available and all that shit, like what the fuck did we talk about during SGB? I think there was so much shit that we talked about in SGB, but game wise, man, I mean, Kingdom Hearts 4 is pretty dope. I'm glad that it's it's actually a thing. I'm not getting it on the Switch 2 as I elaborated, but outside of that, probably the Ocarina of Time remake. Because I think that's pretty dope to look forward to, and if it does well, I'm getting it because I really would like to play a revamped Ocarina of Time that's not Twilight Princess, and also because if I feel if it does well enough, which is goes without saying, I think it'll be just fine because it's Ocarina of Time. That could lead to a Majora's Mask remake, and I would love to see a revamped Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask is already great as it is, but I would like to see how they could spruce it up. In today's age, that's not like marred by 20-plus-year-old technology. And also you guys in the chat are also mentioning it as well. We want to send our condolences to SGM. SGM is one of my mods for the community Discord, and their father recently just passed away, and it's been pretty hard for them as of late. So SGM, I know that you've already taken a break for yourself in regards to like modding duties and just like community stuff in general, but please take all the time you need to recoup, and we'll be here waiting for you whenever you decide you're ready to come back. Because I know that shit sucks, man. Like it's not easy. It's not easy losing a family member. And everybody, I feel at some point experiences this at some point or another, but it's never fucking easy. No matter what, to lose a family member. So my heart's out to you, SGM. Take your time. We'll be here waiting when you come back, okay? The Discord ping was Jason, by the way, enter the thing. Just as a heads up.
Because I can't change it yet.
Why not?
Because it'd be spoilers.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so continuing on, Akari is asking, hey John, at work, so I will make this quick. Do you plan on going back to Mario RPGs for the Versus series at some point? I'm going to have to put an emphasis on at some point, Kari, because I'm not really thinking about that right now. in regards to the only thing I could really go into is like what series I would focus on. It'd probably be Paper Mario next. Although I've been kind of like teetering between Paper Mario and the Mario and Luigi series because I love Mario and Luigi. I probably like Mario and Luigi more than I do Paper Mario because Paper Mario, I'm thinking back, I really only super enjoy Thousand Year Door, but that's only because that's the one I've played and beaten the most compared to everything else. You know, I tried to play the original Paper Mario and I couldn't do it. I didn't enjoy Super Paper Mario. I didn't play more than a few hours of that. And after that, I just kind of dropped the series afterwards. And from what I understand, I'm not really missing much. But even the decent Paper Mario games post Thousand Year Door are okay, but they're not like the traditional turn-based battle mechanics that you would expect from the original games. So I feel it's going into more alien territory here and heading into the Paper Mario series back half, as opposed to Mario and Luigi, which has its share of different gimmicks. I'm not going to say Mario and Luigi is 100% consistent throughout its franchise. Fuck, I mean, by the second game, I'm already worried that it's going down a dark path because fuck, I hate Partners in Time so much on the DS. That's a boring fucking game, man. But I love Bowser's Inside Story. I thought Dream Team was okay. Paper Jam was... I have not played Brothership either. That was the Switch game, if I believe. But I just mechanically enjoyed the Mario and Luigi series more. I just like the personality of it. But that is going to be a subject for another time because again, I don't plan on getting back into it anytime soon. Not until after I go back to Final Fantasy again. Maybe Pokemon, but that remains to be said. The Lone Otaku is asking, howdy ho, Johnny ho.
Oh, wait,
yeah.
before you move on from that.
What do you got?
What are you doing for the 20th anniversary of Sonic 06?
That is this year, right? November, I think?
Mm-hmm.
November... Let's see if I still got it. November 5th? Was that November 5th or 6th?
It was 14.
It was November 14th. Okay, wow, I was way off. So, yeah, you know... see, I have already celebrated the Sonic 06 anniversary by... playing the all gold medals Twitch playthrough I did a couple of years ago. Now you could be saying, John, that wasn't for the 20th
couple years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was like a couple of years ago. I say couldn't celebrate 20th, and I say, shut your fucking mouth. I'm not doing anything for Sonic 06's 20th anniversary. I've played that game is done to death. The game is it's a dried husk. The original game, it's been done. It's fine. Like that Twitch playthrough, me getting all the shit, that's fine. That's the last thing I need to do. I'm more interested in Project 06, honestly, and I think that is due this year, right? I think that is due by the 20th anniversary of the original game. And when that comes out, I'm looking forward to, playing. I don't know if we have a concrete date on that, but like I got a feeling it's pretty close. And when it does, man, that's what I'm looking forward to. The original game, everyone's talked about it. It's been done. So like Project 06, that's what I'm really looking forward to. Chaos X has gone on hiatus for a bit. Ooh, that must mean it's really done. Bug testing, maybe. I'm not sure. I hope they're okay though. So let me actually get to this. So can I get 2 chips and a Coke? What do you mean this isn't an A&W? This is a Q&A. All right, fine. I'll rethink my order. Can I get your top 5 favorite fighting game characters with a side of fries? And there's a little small thing here. If there's a 2... she's not out in Street Fighter 6. But she is in Air Guys. God bless the ring. And do we... Dissidia counts, right? So
I'd argue Dissidia counts.
It's a fighting game though. Like it's an arena fighter with a lot of flippy dippy shit.
If we can count Smash, we can count Dissidia.
Why don't we keep it to dedicated fighting franchises and not just fighting spin-offs of other games? So
fine.
All right, Street Fighter is the one that immediately comes to mind. I gotta be the basic bitch. I love Ken Masters. Ken Masters is always my favorite since I was a kid. I love Chun-Li. I love Ryu. I love Sakura. And I love, there's a pattern here. Chun-Li is kind of the outlier here. But I particularly love Shoto clones because they're really easy to get into. Like whenever I'm playing a new fighting game, the first thing that I'm always doing is a quarter circle motion forward with the attack button to see if there's a fireball. Or I'm trying to see if there's any sort of special moves that are just Street Fighter adjacent so that I can try and immediately get a feel for it. But that's just for Street Fighter, though. So, God damn it, this is a loaded question because fighting game characters. But I want to say Street Fighter stuff, but it's like, but there's just more than Street Fighter stuff. You got to talk about thing. Well, I love Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. I love Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. What other fighting games can I think of immediately that I do like to partake in every once in a while? Smash Brothers. I love Mario. No, I'm kidding. Let's see, Marvel vs. Capcom. I could do that too. Oh, I love Morgan from Darkstalkers. I love. It's all Street Fighter characters that I'm thinking of. Because I think there's so many characters. Like I love Makoto from Street Fighter 3. I love Ibuki. Guilty Gear. I love Bridget. I love. Is it Aino? Is that how you pronounce the girl's name? The witch girl with the guitar. I'm not really sure if that's supposed to be pronounced Aino. I love Soul Bad Guy. I love Faust. And do an Injustice character. That Batman. Oh, is it pronounced?
I don't know. Sub-Zero.
Scorpion. I already said those two though. Yeah, but it's like I do have a lot of favorites, but I have a problem with not like, dude, branch off into other fighting games. It's like no. So Belgian Wooming World is then asking, pick one of the two following questions. What the fuck? Pick one of the two following questions. One has the actual question. What is an elevator full of poisonous cobras? What do you think is the best music track from a bad game, or what do you think is the worst music track from a good game? The best music track from a bad game. Well, all right, we already mentioned 06, so that's not, we don't count.
Yeah, 06 is quite a few.
Yeah, that's it. I was gonna say.
Hell, Frontiers is quite a few.
I wouldn't say Frontiers is a bad game though, but that is a different discussion for later. Okay, actually, I can answer this. Balan Wonderworld, the music that plays when you're doing a Balan bout. That is the mini game that plays when you're doing the QTE with Balan. It's the only time you actually get to play as Balan. It plays a really fast-paced, like jazz ensemble that is just so full of energy. It's full of whimsy and joy that it makes you really think, "Wow, I really wish I was playing as this character." Yeah, actually, you're hearing it right here. Hold on a second. Let me pause the jazz music here. Can you? All right, you can play it now. Can you turn up a bit? Yeah, man. This fucks. Like, it's so good. I remember when Russ and I were playing this game for that video I did before I moved to Georgia. Fuck, man, like every single time, like we got to it, we're just like juking and jiving. We're like bopping to the music. It's like, fuck, man, I wish the game was good. Okay, but hopefully that answers your question. Ronan is asking, hey John, I don't have a question tonight. Just wanted to say, I started playing the free trial of 14 largely because of you and a few others in the Subshack. I'm not very far in ARR, but so far I'm having a blast. I really want to see how this game evolves with each expansion. So I just want to say thank you for being a big reason to me trying the game. You're very welcome, Ronan. And again, the free trial does give you a lot, and there's not much more I can say other than I hope you enjoy yourself. And I was talking with, I explained to somebody else earlier in the community Discord about, there's so much content to get into because it's a very linear progression MMO. The game is there's no rush to get to the end destination where everyone is at right now. Everyone is just kind of waiting for 8.0. So because we're at the end of Dawn Trail, but the game is designed in a way that you can take your sweet ass time with whatever you want. It's not going anywhere. And you have a bunch of people here that play the game that are more than welcome to help you. If you need help with like any sort of the trials, the raid stuff, the dungeons, all you gotta do is ask. But again,
nah, fuck off. I ain't helping no flower.
You don't play the game, so you don't count. So by all means, please take your time, bask in it, savor the juices. because if it really clicks with you, I think you're really going to end up enjoying yourself. Okay. Juan from Canada, JC. Hello, John. Been a while since the last Q&A, and I do mean it. Okay. Since then, we had a lot of events that happened, like seeing KH4 again, PlayStation killing physical support, and recently Ruby coming back. I feel we probably should have started with Ruby coming back and then just go down a downward slope. But regardless of what, glad to see you come back to streaming, even though I'm not watching the Kakarot streams because I'm not a Dragon Ball guy, but wanted to ask, what are the plans to stream after both Kakarot and Shadowbringers are done? So you're asking just like in future, like what do I have in store? Outside of the Deltarune Chapter 5 stuff that is happening next Sunday, I do believe we are getting close to this year's Sage. And because I just got pinged from the Sage Discord a couple of days ago, and I think the scheduling is out now. But I don't really participate in the scheduling stuff. I just kind of do it on a whim whenever I fucking want to. So I was thinking of just doing some Sage stuff in the meantime, and then I was thinking we can probably. I don't want to go back to Metal Gear just yet because we're getting to the point where outside of Peace Walker. Phantom Pain is such an investment of time.
Like unless you just say fuck it to everything.
Yeah, that is. I'm going to do it at some point, but it is also like that game is long. But on the plus side though, we have Peace Walker and we have Revengeance. So at the very least, I'm looking forward to that. I might start Crash Bandicoot actually, because I've been in the mood for it. Fuck, you know what really put me in the mood for Crash Bandicoot? Anton Blast. Because I think it's very fucking obvious that the Anton Blast devs love Crash Bandicoot, like almost distractingly so. Like I've already like got a general frame of how what I'm going to be saying for the review, but it's like fuck man, it's like this. I know like people like compare this to Wario Land and like the gameplay format. It does borrow a lot of Wario, especially Virtual Boy Wario Land, but it's like fuck man, there's also a lot of Crash Bandicoot here too. To both the game's benefit and detriment, but I'll save to the video before I get into that last particular part. Okay, but hopefully that answers your question. Just really set a time frame of what I have planned to do for the next couple of weeks, at least the next couple of months, because right now I'm not really thinking about that. Dirty Skeletons done. Oh, what's up? What are you going to say?
September 11th to the 18th is Sage.
September 11th to the 18th? Okay, wait, does that... No, because the Undertale Symphony that I'm going to with Nora, I think is that
the one
early?
in Philly?
Yeah, the one in Philly.
I can look it up real quick.
Just trying to make sure that
schedule conflict, yeah. USA. September 20th.
Okay, so it's after Sage. That's fine. Okay. All right, no problem at all. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. Dirty Skeletons done dirt cheap is asking, good afternoon, Mr. Some CM Johnny. It's the guy who won't eat sandwiches and represents the sins of destroying the Pope. Mr. Skeletal, I see. So question of the month. So now I assume that there have been times during BSC or SB playthroughs of games you haven't played yet for a channel or otherwise that you walked away more interested in. What about the opposite? Has there been a BSC or SGB playthrough where you're watching the game going, fuck, I don't want to play this. Fuck. Otherwise, have a safe summer and survive until Castlevania in October. That's a great way of putting it. I hope you survive long enough for the game that you're looking forward to releases and you're able to play it. So, all right, interesting question. So a game that I have been a part of in a Brain Scratch commentary or SGB playthrough that has convinced me, I don't think I'm going to play this game ever. And honestly, it's I don't think I have an example that is as vitriolic as like turning Elliot and Matt away from Cave Story, to use that as an example. But it's just more like I've seen the game in action. I'm not convinced, or more like it's not so much I'm not convinced. It's more like this is just not my vibe. I think of Far Cry 5 and for SGB, but that's because I don't play those kind of games. And even after Matt demonstrated what is it about the game that he enjoys, I just like I don't fuck with this. This is something I would never ever play. on Brain Scratch. No, you see, the thing with Brain Scratch, especially now more than ever, is that if we're getting ready to start a commentary over something that I have no interest in, I just won't be a part of the commentary because I hate being reactionary. And if anything, because you want a good example of that, actually, the Slay the Princess commentary. The first half of that commentary, no, that's not the first half, but more like towards the middle of it. I haven't played the game. I have some interest in it, but I just haven't had the time to play it. And I can't engage in a thoughtful conversation with Ted because he's the one leading the commentary. So by the end of it, we haven't gotten there yet in the playthrough itself, but by the end of it, we're just doing our usual Brain Scratch bullshit and just like talking about shit that doesn't matter. And I feel that's more my vibe, but at the same time, I also feel as if, shit, man, I wish I had more interest in the game so that I can actually talk about it. But sometimes that's just the way it is. You sure won't be in the Advanced 3 playthrough when it happens. You say that, FGP, but no one... I recorded Sonic Advance 1 and 2 for Brain Scratch a year and a half ago. And I said it out loud. You guys can take Advance 3 if you want. Go right ahead. And no one's taking it. Makes you think where the Advanced 3 fucking stands here, man. It's like I know it's not just me. But no, it's like no, they're leaving it up to me. They're waiting for me to get into it, and it's like, man, I don't want to record Advanced 3 because I don't like Advanced 3. And God, like, I'm just going to play the game, and then the comments is like, oh, you play so suboptimally. It was like, yeah, because I don't put time and effort into a game I don't like, because Advanced 3 sucks. But I'll do it for the bit. But it's just like, it's a bit that I'm not getting paid for, so that shit's gonna wait. So, that's generally my neck of the woods and that sort of shit. Nikki Brisk is asking, hey John, hope you've been doing well. I remember you saying a while back you plan on reviewing the Persona series sometime this year, so I was wondering, with Persona 6 now announced and most likely released next year, should we expect a Persona marathon anytime soon? Not a fucking marathon, hell no. No. Not a Persona marathon. You want to know why? Because Persona games, especially as we get further into the series, are long. They would be just individual videos that I do in my own time. And then when I had the time to get to them, I would get to them because, listen, I'm already going into Persona with a chip on my shoulder because I honest to God did try to play the first game. I didn't like it. I didn't finish it. I tried to play Eternal Punishment because that is Matt's favorite game of all time, with at least one of his favorite games of all time. I didn't see it. And after that, it just kind of burned me out. I was like, no, man, it's 2 for 2. I'm not fucking with it. I'm just gonna move on. Now, I'm well aware that the series becomes a largely different beast, at the very least in terms of its accessibility and its quality, starting with P3 and beyond. And I know that is going to be the silver lining that I have to hold on to. But at the same time, the games are also long. And me personally, I like my RPGs to be around the 30 to 35, 40 hour range. And I know P3 and beyond can run really fucking long, just casually speaking. God help me if I want to do social link stuff. So doing a marathon of it, let me tell you what a marathon person would be like. I review one game at the let's use this month as an example. I review the first game in July. All right, I'll see you guys for Persona 2 next month. But so like the next 6 months, a half of your year dedicated to Persona and nothing else. Hell no, man. That shit like that kills a channel. And I'm not doing that. Absolutely not. I am absolutely not doing that. I dropped my coaster. You guys ever put a drink coaster underneath your cup and it ends up sticking to the bottom of the cup? You don't realize it sticks to the bottom of the cup until you lift it and put it in your mouth, and the fucking coaster just to the floor.
Nope, because I don't use coasters like that.
Why not? They're coasters.
I use different kinds of coasters that don't do that.
Oh, you mean I'm talking about like the material that it's made of?
Yeah.
No, I use this one. I got this. I think this was a fan donation. The Final Fantasy 14 Fan Fest from 2023, 2024. This is the Alpha Nova variety. We got 2. I think we got Alpha Nova, we got Alizé, or Red Alpha Nova. and I've been using it ever since. But the material is kind of it's rubber, so when it gets dirty, it sticks. But I'm very appreciative of the gift, so thank you very much. Let me see. Jess is asking, hey John, how's the weather treating you? The yearly southern heat wave has been brutal in my neck of the woods. Since I don't have a particular question to ask, I might as well throw in a silly one. Favorite beverage to have on a hot summer's day? It can be a mixed drink, plain old lemonade, or the gift of all life, a nice cup of water. Stay hydrated, my friends, and hope we all escape this brutal hell of a summer. God, so like during the summer, I mean, my liquid diet doesn't really change much throughout the year. I'm primarily a coffee drinker and water. But if we're talking about like a specialty drink, I do become more privy to the fruit smoothie. I like going to Wawa to get a fruit smoothie, specifically like a mango passion fruit smoothie. Like straight out of the fucking blender, like it's cold, it is refreshing, it is a delicious drink. But I don't get it often because it's a lot of sugar. But I do like that. I do like that kind of smoothie during the summer. But like during the fall and the winter, though, I just kind of resort back to coffee and water because I'm a very boring individual. Okay. But either way, I thank you for the question. I appreciate it. And I hope you're staying safe during the summer as well, because holy shit, the heat wave that we just had here in the Northeast is ending today. And it's today is not as hot as it was yesterday and the day before, but it is very humid because we just got that rain, which gladly, I know I had to cut 14 stream short last night out of concern that we might have lost power, and I had to take care of stuff because of the potential rain we were getting. Thankfully, nothing happened, but it's always good to take precautions. The fucking power did go out though at 4 a.m. when I was already in bed. And God, like, you want to talk about something that just absolutely ruins your fucking morning is when the power goes out in the middle of summer and you just have, the only ventilation you have is just open windows. And now I was like, I gotta get up. Now I gotta go chill out in the basement because it's, our bedroom is on the top floor. All the heat travels upwards. It's going to get massively uncomfortable in here. All right, fine. I don't even have fans, man, because all the power's out. Swamp ass jump scare. I don't worry about swamp ass. Swamp ass is swamp ass. Swamp ass can be wiped. Swamp ass can be cleaned. But you can't do anything about poor ventilation. All right. Santiago 7 is asking, this is a repeat, but how can I not use it when the 4th of July was yesterday? Yeah, let me one of those porno mags, a large box of condoms, a bottle of Old Harper, a couple of those panty shields and some illegal fireworks, and one of those disposable enemas. Make it 2. My apologies, sir, but the sale of fireworks is prohibited in this state as punishable by a vote. Follow me. The M320. Wait, any red-blooded flag-feeding American would love the M320. Celebrate the independence of your nation by blowing up a small part of it. I think of that. I always think of Rice Krispies and Tang, and I think of Homer lighting it up and throwing it into the dishwasher. My question for you. Oh, afternoon, everyone. The summer is here and it's been murder. I feel for the people who can't afford AC to live in countries that are almost non-existent. My question is, since you've beaten Pizza Tower, I want to ask what your favorite music track is and why it's the Tropical Crust, the music song of the beach level I Kid, LOL. All right, so I'm going to be a little mundane here, but legit, I think my favorite track of the game is actually the file select theme. The first theme you hear when you boot the game up. Assuming you don't leave it on the... you know my favorite part of my video is the Pizza Tower video is the comment section thinking that I was going to show the jump scare that happens when you leave Peppino in the dark for like 40 seconds, I think. And it's not. I just thought I just did a bit on that. So like, now I did that knowing that there was a jump scare, and I just wanted to see who would react to it, and you guys did not let me down. But that theme that plays, the file select theme, is legit one of my favorites. It's just funny because it's like I think it's like the only contribution of that particular artist. I don't know if they made other tracks that got unused, but they delivered and then some for that for that particular bit, and I just love it to death. Pizza Deluxe is legit a wonderful song, and I've had it on loop for a while I was editing that video. That said, it's Pizza Time. I forget if that was the actual name of the track. It is a really fucking good song. The noise variant is also really fucking good. I don't remember what the noise variant is called, but his Pizza Time variant is also really fucking good too. Outside of that, I can't recall anything off the top of my head, but those are the ones that immediately come to mind. All right, M1 Yak 2, what's up? What do you got?
That song was done by Post Elvis, and they've done songs for Siva Gunner.
Oh, really? Are you telling me I got a high quality experience listening to this shit? It's intentional? Excellent. Karu is asking, hey, John, so whenever you heal in higher end content, how do you keep your mental state from panicking and reverting to a heal bot when things go sideways and at least one party member gets killed? Even though I've cleared M10 several times now, I still panic if people start dying and start casting shields and whatnot if not 100% topped off. Hey, listen, there is nothing wrong with over healing and over mitigating than not mitigating and healing at all. Because the thing that I see too often, it is not even necessarily in, like, I'll see this a lot in EX farms, sometimes in Savage, but you see it all the time in casual content, where in 8-man content, a healer will die, the other healer will then immediately start raising. Like, there's no swift cast, right? They'll start hard raising, and raise in 14 is like an 8 to 9 second cast. It takes a while. The thing is, though, they're so fixated on rezzing the other healer, they didn't top off the party. And the boss is now doing a raid wide that is now going to wipe everybody out because the other healer got so fixated on rezzing the other healer. I would rather you just make sure everyone is topped off first before you raise the other healer. That way everyone can at least survive for the next couple of seconds, and then you can get your shit together. That said, like, if you just kind of get lost in it and you just over panic, I'd rather you over heal than just try and fixate on like the larger issue at hand. So I would say, yeah, I'm absolutely incredibly guilty of doing the same thing. Where fuck everything. You know what I really do it in? If I'm doing Mentor Roulette as a healer and I get an ARR EX. Because at that point I'm in full fucking, all right, I'm gonna throw out DPS when I can, but I'm going to, my priority is making sure everyone is topped off. Okay, so Master G427 is asking, what are your favorite Final Fantasy Summon attack animations like? Favorite Hellfire animation, favorite Diamond Dust animation, etc. My favorite Mega Flare animation is the one in 10. Oh, interesting. 10 is cool, but it doesn't beat Bahamut's Mega Flare from 7. The one in 9 is also really fucking badass, but Neo Bahamut in 7 is legit my favorite Bahamut summon animation. I love Alexander in Final Fantasy VI. I love Medine in Final Fantasy IX. That moment where Aiko unleashes the power of Mog against Zorn and Thorn is legit one of the hypest fucking moments in the game. And it's just, God, they're so cool. I mean, outside of that, Knights of the Round is so cool, but it's also really long. What do you got?
What the fuck was it? The Arc Summon and
Arc and 9, yeah. Yeah, no, just yeah. It's just a fucking Gundam.
Yeah.
You know, listen, I thought of Arc as well, but you know the thing that really pisses me off about Arc more than anything is that it only hits once. You know, Knights of the Round is like 13 separate hits.
Missiles.
Yeah, it's a barrage of shit. There's like missile Macross shit, then it's got like a death
laser cannon.
Yeah, and then it ends with like a fucking like piece of the world getting destroyed, and literally can see that shit from space.
Sorry, only one hit.
But it only hits once. So it's like, fuck me, man. It's like, you're so cool, but also like you, the other shit didn't count. What, did they close their eyes? Okay. Pollard the Irish is asking, hey, John, so I kind of want your personal opinion on this. Recently, my sister, her boyfriend, and I have been getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot, and we've been playing it nearly every weekend. We knew GOAT format, so we stick to that, make things simpler for us. Thing is, I've been printing out proxy cards and laminating them. Now, they know, of course, but the reason I do is because being in rural Ireland, it's very hard to get cards. Hell, trying to get anything geek culture in rural Ireland is impossible. I know I could buy cards online, but I don't think it's worth it. Long story short, do you think it's morally okay to do proxy print decks just for fun? I wouldn't do this in an actual tourney, of course. Just want to know your 2 cents on this. I don't think it's a moral issue. It's an economical issue, sure, but I don't think it's a moral issue or an ethics issue. At the end of the day, if you can't afford the cards, there is absolutely nothing wrong with using proxies. I myself used proxies in high school because there are decks that I would really like, or at least there are cards that I really wanted to experiment with, but A, I couldn't afford them, or B, they weren't available in the TCG. They were only available in the OCG, the Japanese format. So I had no problem with just using a proxy. I told everyone ahead of time, this is what this card is. Are you okay with it? They said, yeah, it's whatever. It's all in good fun. Obviously, you can't do that in tournament play. But this is not tournament play. It's a super casual fucking, we're all friends here just having a good time. Magic, oh my god, Magic encourages it. I think Magic the Gathering encourages proxies for something that you can't run at the moment, as long as the proxy itself is clear on what the card is and what you're trying to replicate. It is absolutely okay. Obviously, you probably can't do it in tournament play, same as Yu-Gi-Oh! But as long as you inform everyone that hey, I'm using a proxy here just as a heads up, you are more than welcome to. So I don't think it's a problem at all. Sometimes that's how, especially Yu-Gi-Oh! Because oh my god, especially when there's a card that you really want, but it ends up being meta for some reason or another, and it's in low print. It becomes really fucking expensive for the time being until it's reprinted like 3 years later, and now it's really inexpensive. You gotta proxy when you can. Oh, absolutely. Proxy whatever the fuck you want, as long as you just give us the heads up that you're using proxy. Sun Gohan is asking, hello, John. What game are you looking forward to the most in 2027? 7 Revelations. And that was in March or April. One, because I love Final Fantasy VII, and I'm just happy that the remake series is coming to a conclusion. But it also it gives me finally a reason to pick up and finish Rebirth this time. Although I'm probably going to start again from remake. Just to make sure I'm refreshed on my memory and have the full context.
Are you just gonna do the easy mode where it just like caps you out?
Oh, you're talking about like the boosters and stuff? Now, where's the fun in that? I want to enjoy.
You're trying to go back through it for the story, not necessarily the game.
No, I can do both. Listen, I know.
If you're going to be going back through for the game, you would have already done it by now.
Like an economical guy that has other shit to do and has way better time management than yours truly. I suck at that. I am aware. But at the end of the day, I have preferences, and I don't want to use a booster mode for my remake experience because I personally don't like using booster mode stuff for that outside of a Let's Play, because I just want to get a move on, or if I'm recording for a review, because again, I want to get a move on. One of my favorite things about playing old school RPGs for a review is like, fuck man, I'll just fast forward and use save states whatever the fuck I want, because I'm not in the 80s anymore. It's not the 90s. It's 2026. But
But no Code Veronica, love.
No. Oh, you mean is that next year? Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not going to say, hell yeah, Code Veronica is one of my favorite games of all time. I can't wait to see what they do. Fuck no. I'm excited at the notion that they're hopefully going to fix Veronica, because I did not like Veronica that much. But to say that I am a super excited for it on the same level as like Revelations, and no, that wouldn't be true.
Okay, what about Pokemon Waves and Rocks?
Oh, I haven't played a Pokemon game in years. I stopped after Sun and Moon. I know I've said that like so many times, but we always get new people here in the stream. I have to reemphasize that I stopped playing Pokemon after Sun and Moon. I have still not touched my Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon copy that I bought at Nintendo New York the year it came out, and I have not played any of the Switch games.
I think what else comes out next year.
I just checked my emotes. It's all VTubers and Johns. Show me, Master XXS. It's just a barrage of VTubers I don't know and my face.
I'm so sorry that your emote list is like that. Honestly, the only thing that could make it worse is Twilight Princess emotes.
Oh, well, hold on, wait. If it's Midna, then we're cool, But I think my brother Mark is my favorite VTuber. Looking back, but all right. Who did I leave it off on? It looks like Loyal Paladin. Loyal Paladin is asking, as someone who hasn't played Final Fantasy VII but follows several creators who love it to bits and doesn't really get it, what makes the game so special to you personally? Man, I could just be well, I could just be that guy and just say, well, you can find out by going to Some Call Me Johnny on YouTube and looking up Johnny versus Final Fantasy VII, because that in itself it encapsulates everything about Final Fantasy VII that is very special to me. And I really don't think I can further emphasize or reiterate anything without spending too much time on it. I know a big part of it is because I've already have familiarity with the Final Fantasy franchise. Again, my first one was 4 on the Super Nintendo, and I first played 7 when it came out in 97 as a 10-year-old boy. And to me, it was like on a lot of surface level stuff was just really fucking dope for me. It was a 3D game in an era where that was a new thing. It was the music, it was the models, it was just the graphics, it was the story. I didn't really fully grasp because I don't know who would at my age, and Tifa. I really like Tifa, dude. I really like Tifa. Was just love at first sight, man. And yeah, part of it was because, man, like those shorts are criminally short, and like she's got big boobies, but it's also is like I just loved Tifa to death, dude. Ever since like playthrough fucking 1, like I just made sure she was always in my party. Tifa's so cool. I'm so excited that she's in Street Fighter 6. All right. Nakagami Penguin is asking, since plenty of people are probably asking about the Sony situation, I'll go with something different, which is funny because no one has asked about the Sony situation just yet. We touched upon it briefly last night, but I'm expecting we're probably going to talk about it for the community Q&A at some point. I've caught a glimpse at some physical manga that you and /Nora have been collecting in the newer Johnny Versus intro. Would it be possible to show it off in full or at least share details about it? Well, all the manga that you see in the background, like on the shelves and that sort of stuff, are mostly Nora's and Elliot's. Elliot collects more manga than I do. I don't collect that much manga anymore. I am very much that guy that if there is a way to read it online, hopefully officially, so I can support the writers, I'll do that. But there are some series that I really like to get into that don't have a means of reading digitally, so I have to actually buy the physical books. But that buying manga, especially a long-running series, is always kind of a drag because there's so many chapters, so many volumes that you have to keep in touch with, and that's not always easy. So preferably, I like to read stuff digitally, which is what I like to do. But that also means my physical collection is not very large. So most of the stuff that you see in the background is Nora and Elliot's. On the to actually answer the question though, would I ever take the time to show that off? The people have been asking me for a room tour for years. I'm like, can you got the patented YouTuber game shelf behind you, as a lot of people that do what I do have. When are you gonna start showing some of that shit off? And I don't know, I'm not against the idea, but it's also I don't know if it'd be very interesting. The point of the video is look what I have that you don't have, or look what I have that everybody else has. I just feel I personally don't think it's a big deal. At the end of the day, that's why I don't really think about it. But it's also as if, if it's important enough for a backdrop, you clearly care about it at some point. But it's also I don't know how I'd make that an interesting video. I'm more interested, thing I've been sleeping on for a while that I genuinely want to start doing, because especially after this year's TMG, oh my God. Because to briefly go into this, I'm not sure if someone's going to ask me about my TMG experience for this year, but I'll just start this now. Now, for years when I've been going to conventions, some fans gift stuff to me. Like they donate something niche that I've never heard of in my life, either for a bit or because they genuinely want to see my curiosity in it. A fan this year donated me the entire Ape Escape series, like Ape Escape on the PlayStation 1, and Ape Escape on 2 and 3 on the PlayStation 2, and they're still in their Blockbuster covers. Like dead ass, they're still like, I think you stole this from a Blockbuster. But outside of that, a thing that folks that also I did this year was knickknacks. Coffee mugs. I got Brick from Pizza Tower just standing on top of the monitor that I have on top of the shelf there. Someone gave me a Wario shot glass because I was looking at the Wario Land series. Someone made me a drawing in the fashion of like the Final Fantasy VII title card, or like the cover thing. I love knickknacks. I love doodads. I love shit that I can just put on a shelf, not necessarily a game, because the game goes into a game shelf and it just becomes one of the pile. But I feel there's more personality in doodads, and I want to make a video showcasing the doodads that people have given me throughout the years, because I love collecting those kind of shit. Outside of that, people draw me stuff, and I want to showcase that, because I want to fucking stress this to hell and back. I keep everything. No matter how niche, no matter how minuscule it is, if you made me a little crochet or a drawing, I hold on to that shit and I put it away in my closet in the utility room, because I really
even the Stadia controller.
Even it's still up. You want me to get it? I still have it. It's still in its fucking plastic. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I'm not taking that thing out of its box. But I honestly, God, do keep all that shit because it means a lot to me. And at some point I would like to make a video showcasing all the cool things that folks have given to me, because it does mean like it goes more than anything to show that, people, as much as like anybody can do what I do for a living, like review games and that sort of shit, but people for some reason decide to watch me, and I'm always going to be insanely grateful for that. So I hold on to all of it, and at some point I would like to show it off. But
Donators Marathon needs to be done again.
Yeah, I know.
Been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute since the last Donators Marathon. I know we were talking about God, you want to know the one thing that honestly, when I was reviewing Pizza Tower, and
you review Google Stadia.
Yeah. No, the
dead.
one thing, when I was doing Pizza Tower, and I was I'm recording Anton Blast now for the video, and I was really like, fuck, man, I really do miss the indie showcase. Like, and a big part of that is, and I gotta be the selfish guy here for a second, indie games are a hell of a lot easier to review when you don't have to worry about making them a montage or a compilation like the Wario Land stuff, where you can just worry about one game that you can beat in a day, and then you could just make a video on it, and then like handle the sponsor obligations all in one fell swoop. It was like, fuck, that's so easy, man. And like, it doesn't even really matter if folks don't really want to watch it, because like the sponsor takes care of that. But at the same time, it's also like, fuck, man, I did kind of miss this. But at the same time, it's not that it's not as if it's not lucrative to do like the larger videos, because the Wario Land video did really well. It's one of my best performing videos in several months. And like, and that goes to show there's always gonna be merit in handling larger videos. But fuck, sometimes I really do just miss doing the small shit, and like the indie game stuff really just gives you the foundation to do that. Unless it's an RPG, and it's like, fuck, this is 30 hours.
Indie game showcase, but you stitch everything into one video that's an hour long.
No, but well, just like a hodgepodge of like indie games that I played over the years. Like how Markiplier does their like scary games compilation, where I think it's just 3 games that he chooses randomly and just makes a compilation of it. But like the series itself, I think is called like Scary Games number, or 3 Scary Games numbers, such. It'd be like that. No, but the thing though is that I would like the video to be easy to edit. That's what I mean. Like, because sometimes there are times where it's like I don't want to make another 35-minute video that is going to take all of my fucking time to edit, and I can't do anything else. What's even worse if I have SGB for that week, or if I have another Twitch stream to do for that weekend, because then my fucking ADHD riddled brain gets scattered and then I shut down. And that happens all the fucking time. I cannot stress that enough, is that when I get overwhelmed with tasks, I shut down. And then I become hyperfixated on the thing that needs to be done because I got bills to pay. And then I end up neglecting the other shit. It happens all the damn time. I cannot stress that enough.
You see, chat, this is why he doesn't do Among Us anymore.
A fungus. But, hopefully that answers your question. We did spend a long time on that. Adam Baum is asking, hey, John, it's been a hot minute, and part of the things that happened during the break from streams was that I was having massive burnout from playing games for a while, and still do when I'm playing games now. So I gotta ask, how do you deal with burnout like that? Man, it helps in my particular scenario that I have multiple hobbies. Video games are just part of it. I love to draw. I love to play card games with Elliot. And I think what's helping me, especially now, compared to like last year, is that I'm getting physical again. Like I've been doing, I restarted the yoga. I've been doing fitness boxing, and that's kept my mind occupied. I really fucked up my arm yesterday, and I'm trying not to move it that much, but it helps to have a variety in activities, and I think that's what helps me deal with burnout when I know for a fact, hey, I'm just not feeling it right now with this. I need to step back. And hell yeah, I did it yesterday, actually. Because yesterday, after bracing for the storm that came and went, like the winds did get high, and we did get a bit of rain and some lightning, but it ended up being more of a fart in the wind. I didn't want to play any games. I whipped out the drawing pad and I just drew. I took care of an art trade that I did with Nora. Because she drew one of my 14 characters and I drew one of her D&D characters. And that, that's what I do. It was like, I just distract myself with something else, because it's always good to have feelers out for different hobbies. If I play video games, I'll play a trading card game. If I don't feel like playing a trading card game, I'll play video games. If I don't feel like doing both, I'll draw. If I don't feel like drawing, I'll play video games.
Fuck it, learn a skill.
Yeah, imagine. Maybe this time I'll actually learn how rigs work instead of just pinging Jason. Or read a book.
What do you mean that someone put a backdoor into your computer?
Read a book. Absolutely. Read a book. There are so many other venues of entertaining your mind and broadening your horizontals outside of video games. The hardest part is just taking the step to do it, and that I feel is a different issue, but it is nevertheless relatable. Okay, let us see here. I do suck my teeth a lot. I do that a lot. What the fuck word is it? Joseph. Yeah, Joseph. Hope you're having a good day. That's it. No question. Just hoping things are good. God bless you, Joseph. Straight to the point. But thank you. I thank you. I appreciate the well wishes. I hope your day is going by smoothly as well. Nguyen is asking, and it is pronounced Nguyen, right? I think the J is supposed to be silent. Hello, John.
I asked and they didn't answer.
Yeah. Hello, John. Hope you like a hot summer day. Your recent Power Stone video reminded me how much I love it. I was wondering if you ever watched Amazing Digital Circus. It is an awesome web show. Ignore the fandom. Thanks. Okay, actually, I'm glad someone asked this, because yes, I have finally watched the entirety of Amazing Digital Circus. Now the show wrapped up, and I gotta tell you, even though Nora and I binged the entirety of the show, just watching the first episode filled my recommendations with a lot of AMDC shit that was just like, oh, fuck. Like, I don't know the context of any of this, but I feel if I keep seeing it, it's going to ruin some shit. So it's like, it was just all hands on deck. We need to load this in a way that we won't see thumbnails from other recommendations, because people are just fucking unapologetic with spoilers and thumbnails for the sake of ad revenue. And that in itself was its own kind of adventure. I'm not going to spend too long on this because I feel it's an entirely different discussion, and AMDC fans are kind of stupid.
BADC.
Yeah.
But no, I'm surprised you didn't just watch it off Netflix then.
I didn't know it was on Netflix. I know it as a YouTube digital series, so I watched it on YouTube.
Yeah, that was like one of the big things is that they got to
Yeah.
deal with Netflix.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, hindsight's 2020. I wish I knew that ahead of time. But I'll be short and to the point. I thought it was a wonderful series. I enjoyed pretty much every episode. I loved all of the character dynamics of everyone that was involved. Pomni was great. Ragatha was amazing. Jax, I thought in the beginning was like, they're really rubbing in that Jax is an asshole, man. I hope there's a point to this. And then they eventually do get to the point, and I think, okay, that makes sense. It's very real. It is very grounded. I know people that are exactly like Jax, and it sucks, but at the same time, it's like, Christ, it's real. I love Kinger. I love Kane. I love everybody. I just love everybody like in that show, and I loved every character arc that followed. And I know, like, I'm not gonna go into like the discourse of like the final episode. I know like people are not really satisfied with how it ends and that sort of shit. I personally didn't really have a problem with it because I don't really think the point of the ending was that it ends. It's more of like, what does it mean for these characters at the end of the day, how their arcs conclude. And I think it was just fine.
I'd argue some of them didn't get conclusions to their arcs, though. That's my biggest issue.
We should talk about this later because I feel we'll get lost in the sauce if we go into it. But at the end of the day, I did very much enjoy my time with it. But I'm going to leave it at that because I can easily just lose my mind talking about
No,
it.
definitely. Me and Lackley, I think we talked about it for like 5 hours.
Yeah. Oh my God. What the fuck? We didn't even start Delta Road yet. That's amazing. All right. But let's move on here. Saber is asking, greetings, John. Hope you're doing well. Question, who's going to do Mega Man X7 for BSC? Me. It's been over 10 years since you guys did X6. Really? That decision was probably up to Ryan, but just wondering because next year is Mega Man's 40th anniversary, so I'm hoping you guys do something to celebrate. God, no. Like, so it's Ryan doesn't really choose who does what. He never has. Everyone is just kind of, I feel like I want to do this for the channel. Does anyone have any objections? Nobody says anything. Fine, I'll do Sonic Advance 3. But no, for the most part, it's just generally like we'll give the mention of like, hey, I have some interest in doing this. Is it okay if I take it? And then we'll just like, Ryan for the most part is like, yeah, go right ahead. I don't give a fuck. But there's a reason why we haven't gotten to X7 in so long. It's because X7 is X7. It's such a boring fucking game. And the hardest part, so doing the commentary itself is not the issue. It's just playing the game and recording it. Like for the commentary, that is the issue because I am exhausted at the idea of booting that game up and getting ready to record it for commentary purposes because I just fucking despise X7, you know? And there's no one else in the channel that's qualified to do it outside of Ryan, but Ryan also has the same issue that I do, most likely, where it's like, I don't want to play X7.
Record a dog shit game and get little to no views out of it. Yup, that's what I want to spend my weekend doing.
It's Brain Scratch. Brain Scratch doesn't get views. We're consistent, but we don't get views. We never that's never been the drawing point of Brain Scratch. It's just assholes just chatting over shit nobody cares about.
Yeah, and this will be the one time it's not consistent because even the viewers are gonna be like, dude, it's X7. Why would I be here?
Wait a minute. I hate Brain Scratch. Hopefully that answers your question, Saber. Rube is asking, hell, John, how do you prefer your coffee? Any sugar or cream, or do you prefer black? I cannot drink coffee straight black. It disgusts me. And I know for like when you're going into like fasting purposes for like weight loss, if you're gonna have coffee, you can have coffee technically anytime because it has 0 calories. There's nothing in that bitch except bean juice. But straight coffee, like just black, grosses me out because it's so bitter. I love bitterness in my coffee, but when it is supplemented with a sweetener like creamer. I love creamer. I put creamer in my coffee. I put Irish creamer specifically on my coffee, in my coffee. And if I don't have Irish cream available, I like to put caramel macchiato on my coffee, but just a little bit of it. You don't want to you don't want coffee in your caramel creamer, if you know what I mean. You want to. It's a proper balance.
It's a supplement. It's not the takeover.
Yes. Yeah. But I personally,
I would just say that you've not had a good black coffee then.
Well, how do you figure? Because like, are you talking about particular like the bean quality, or how it's prepped?
Like there's specific roasts that you can get that are a bit lighter, and so they don't have that bitter taste to them.
I'm very curious if maybe you can I'll open my eyes to like a black coffee that I'll actually enjoy that has nothing in it.
Yeah, because like I'll do a black coffee from time to time, but it really depends on the roast.
Mm-hmm. I'm drinking coffee like this coffee here is just a regular ass coffee with Irish creamer in it. I do have to get a new thermal mug though, because this one's starting to age. All right, moving on. The Terminator is asking, good afternoon, hope the day finds you well. For better or worse, I traded the curse that was Marvel Rivals for the far more evil Overwatch. I like my Pharah I feel my Pharah far exceeds my Spider-Man. Destiny 2's
what the fuck?
Destiny 2's death has put it into a better state than it's been in years, and I'm also having a blast with that as well. I think you meant. Has there been a game lately that, through updates and nostalgia, has taken your attention hostage? As in after like an update and that sort of shit? The only sort of forever game that I play is 14. And no matter what that game updates with, I'm still playing it because there are multiple reasons why I play 14, because I do everything in that game outside of battle stuff. Crafting, gathering, all that sort of shit. But if we're talking about...
Autobot.
What was it? So Automod, for context, Rick was saying, it was referencing Shadow the Hedgehog, that the disgusting black creature line, but he said disgusting black coffee, and Twitch thought it was racist. But fuck, that threw me off. So a game that after an update has taken over my time or taken my attention. So not necessarily a game like a more like a game proper, like on a computer and that sort of shit, but more tabletop. Because I've actually gotten back into modern Yu-Gi-Oh! To a degree after the new Blue Eye support came out for it, like 6 months ago, I want to say. I finally took some time to construct a Blue Eyes deck with the updated support with like Kaibamen the Legend and Dragon Master Magia. And I took that deck with me to this year's Too Many Games, and Matt and I had a couple of duels, and I whooped his ass. Now, a part of it was because he, Yu-Gi-Oh!, no matter how consistent or combo heavy your deck is, no one's never not a victim of RNG. And so I like to think that the stars aligned at that time, but my Blue Eyes deck has never been so fast and consistent, and that kind of just reinvigorated me to like actually pursue more modern decks in a game that has long since so radically transformed from what it used to be like 20 years ago. But for stuff like that, it's just a matter of just finding your niche and clicking with it, and then just sticking there. I was like, oh, so are you thinking of like playing competitively? And I was like, no. It's like I'm still a very ultra casual player. I just that I finally found a semblance of strategy that I fuck with. But that's kind of like the main the thing that I was getting at, because now that it has reignited my interest in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And I've been playing a few games with a few friends of mine in another Discord that also play Yu-Gi-Oh! In their spare time when they're not playing Street Fighter. All right, JDude93 is asking, hey John, hope you're doing well. Just wanted to ask you, with the 35th anniversary of Nickelodeon's Nicktoons coming up August 11th, what Nicktoons outside of Rugrats and SpongeBob do you think would be a good idea for a tie-in video game? So 35th anniversary, really? So 1991? Oh, God. For a tie-in video game? I mean, You can go with all the I mean, because Ren and Stimpy had their share of video games, and not all of them were good. Rocko's Modern Life, I think, had a game or two that wasn't good. I mean, isn't that kind of the basis for Nickelodeon All Stars? I think that there was like a kart racer. There was the Smash Brothers clone, which I feel already
Smash Brothers clones.
Yeah, I like to think those are celebratory enough for like Nicktoons in general, but we have that. There was an Avatar fighting game, I think, that's also making the rounds right now too, if I recall.
Yeah.
So I think the Nicktoons proper are getting their fair share of games, not necessarily tied to like the anniversary or the shit like that, but I don't think we're starving for Nicktoons games. But I can't really answer this question for sure because I don't really watch Nicktoons that much anymore. You know, I will go back and watch, you know, episodes of stuff I used to watch as a kid. Like I still revisit Rocko's Modern Life. I love revisiting Hey Arnold because that's legit one of my favorites of all time. I don't watch Rugrats that much anymore. Good Rugrats, I fell off pretty hard after the first movie. No, I can tell you exactly when I fell off of Rugrats. It was actually Rugrats in Paris. The second theatrical release. Saw that once. I was like, I don't think this show doesn't feel like it's for me anymore. Which I know is weird for me because like
I'm never the same after the towers fell.
Dill was a changed man when the towers fell. But a lot of old Nicktoons that I hold near and dear to my heart, I stopped watching for one reason or another, because it just didn't really tickle my fancy anymore. Rugrats did it first. I stopped watching SpongeBob after like the first movie. But not that I don't enjoy the old stuff that I used to watch anymore, and not just for nostalgia's sake, because genuinely I found the writing really good. And the jokes land for different reasons now as an adult who can now understand the nuance of that adult layered humor. But you know, outside of that, again, to go back to the original question, I don't think we're lacking in the tie-in games. I could be completely ignorant on this though, because again, I'm not actively paying attention to it, but I feel it's like Nickelodeon tie-in games never really went away, no matter who the franchise in question is. All right, Agender Fox, yo, Johnster, level with me for a little bit. When it comes to board games, do you have a favorite? No, not really. I will humor Monopoly here and there, and that is it. I'm trying to think of like the last few times we've played board games, physically speaking, that wasn't just for an SGB thing for a SmackDown Sunday. You know, because for SGB, you know, we can mention Monopoly, we can mention the Game of Life, we can mention Catan, we can mention Mousetrap, which I wanna say I enjoyed those videos to death. Some of my favorite SmackDown Sundays that we do for the channel are the board game stuff. But if we're talking physically speaking, I don't play them often, and I sure as shit don't have a favorite one, because I do not humor board games to that level. They're also, they take a lot of time to set up too. Oh God.
I can't remember the last time I played a board game, honestly.
No.
I know I was still in school.
The worst experience I ever had, and when I say worst, I just means like, fuck, this is taking forever, was that one game of Risk that I played. With Russ, Jacob, and two other friends of ours while I was visiting Pittsburgh. It was like over 10 years ago. And that game took us 7 fucking hours. And I was just visiting for the holiday. So it's not like I had other shit to do, but it's like, I kind of want to do something else. Fuck, man.
Wait, no, I got it.
What's up?
Budokai 2. That's technically a board game.
That doesn't count.
That's technically a board game. It's
not a board game. That is a fighting game with a board game in it.
We need to finish that. That's up to goddamn Kid Buu if we finish that.
Why did you guys stop at the Majin Buu stuff?
We stopped at Kid Buu specifically.
Okay.
Because he kept beating my fucking ass.
Well, he's booed.
He reads your inputs and he's hyper aggressive. Like, Jesus Christ. Not even Krillin could win. It was very surprising.
That's right, because was it in the context of your playthrough was like Krillin was like the unsung hero of Budokai
Yeah,
2?
Krillin was like the fucking odd job. Yeah. Most of your attacks just go over his head.
I love, honestly, like, I know I'm not there for whenever like Kari hosts the like the anime watch parties, or whenever Jason is doing something on a whim, but I love seeing when it inspires artwork and I have no context for it, and it's just funny that way. Okay, moving on here. JVR Fuentes, hey John, hope all is well. I know that currently for SGB you guys are in the middle of a platform marathon, but what do you think is the next JRPG you guys will do for the channel? So I was talking with Matt about this about a month or two ago. I think Matt and I are ready to pull the trigger on Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts. Because we haven't done a Kingdom Hearts game in a long time. We're never playing 358 Days Over 2 for the channel. Because no, and what?
I'm just not doing 358 Days Over 2.
It's not a good game. Like, it's a good story, but I'm not fucking making a let's play over the cutscenes available in the collection. It's just
not the cutscenes, but the most recent fan port that's been going on.
What do you mean? Oh, did someone finally do something like the multiplayer?
Because there's been like a fan remake that's been going on for some time now.
Okay, well, follow up on that later, because like I did not know about that, because I was at who the fuck said it in the chat? Someone says I still gotta do 358 Days Over 2 for the Twitch stuff, and I have not forgotten, but I also said that I would really like to play multiplayer with that game. Because fuck, man, 358 is so boring. Now, you don't have to worry about me like dropping the game like I did Snake's Revenge and Portable Ops on the Metal Gear side. Because Kingdom Hearts at the end of the day, like functionally is very similar, but very like the other games in the series. It's just that fuck, man, it's like a 30-hour game with a very, very repetitive format. And my love of the story aside, because I have to emphasize, I do think 358 Days has a great story. I love the story of 358, but the gameplay that supplements it is just not fucking fun, man. It's just ugh. So, but no. So to go back to the original question, I think the next weekend RPG that we want to do is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. I will be taking Aqua. Matt will take Terra. And I think Elliot was going to take Ventus. There's three playable characters. There's three of us. Uncle sits in the cuck chair and watches. As you typically do with these Kingdom Hearts experiences. Yeah, but I hope you guys look forward to that. You get the easy character as the easy character. Sir. Oh, John's taking the cool female character, huh? Who could have fucking seen this coming? All right. Moving on, though. That one gaming guy, 81. Hey, John, it was great to finally meet you at TMG. Meeting you and also going to TMG was something I've been wanting to do for a while. I have a fun question for you. In the Johnny versus cinematic universe, is Tail Doll still living in Georgia? Or is he living with you still because times are hard? You may have answered this months ago, but I don't think it was there for the answer. I don't really... I have an idea of where the story is going to end and conclude. I will say, Tails Doll doesn't know that I moved. So that is where I'm going to leave it at that. And then hopefully I can follow up with that at some point or another for the proper conclusion. Because I have shared before that I do want to properly end that story arc, whatever the fuck that means for me, with an animation. Because I feel that's the only way I'm going to be able to properly express what it is I want to do to finally put a pin on that. I can at least share that much, but I can't go into any further because a lot of it is because, well, I haven't thought of it that much. But thank you for the question. I do appreciate it. And thank you for, again, coming by the TMG and just meeting up. I hope you had a great time. General Godzilla is asking, hello, John. It's a bit of an unorthodox question. There are some games that have glaring flaws in them, but despite that, there are some about them that make the experience more worth it. Do any come to mind? For me personally, one of my examples is Final Fantasy IX. It's really slow, steel sucks, trance shouldn't have been instantaneous, and half of the cast didn't get any development they needed. Despite that, I love the art style to this day. Zidane is one of the best mainline Final Fantasy protagonists. Vivi is a gem, the music is incredible, and just looking at it makes me smile. There's some games that have glaring flaws, but despite that, there's something about the experience that make it more worth it doing to come to mind. Well, if you go to Johnny versus Brave Fencer Musashi on So Call Me Johnny, you will have a wonderful 30-something minute. I forgot how long the Brave Fencer Musashi video was. That is going. I mean, Gigi, you say I knew it in all caps as if the answer wasn't fucking obvious to anyone. How many times am I asked, do you have any hidden gems on the PlayStation 1 that you think more people need to talk about? And I always say Brave Fencer Musashi because I fucking love that game. It is not great. It has glaring issues in regards to it being an isometric 3D platformer action RPG. I do think that it does feel woefully undercooked in some chapter segments. I think the scrolls could have been more fleshed out to have better attacks. The fusion absorption mechanic is woefully undercooked. And there are just things there that you could just like, oh my God, there's so many things here that could have been fleshed out to make it a truly extravagant, wonderful action RPG, but it's just not there yet. But at the same time, what we got is so fucking endearing. I love the world of the all-you-can-eat kingdom. I love Musashi. I love all the villagers. I love the villains. I love the music. I love the presentation. It's so cool. It's a cool game, but it does have a lot of issues into it. But I love it to death. Like, I will never get tired of that game. And I'm just saying that if at some point or another, hopefully not anytime soon, if they ever announce a remaster or a remake of Brave Fencer Musashi, you guys need to fucking just ping me to see if I'm okay or if I'm on live support, because I will lose my goddamn mind if one is ever announced. I doubt it'll ever happen, but I would much appreciate it. Yeah, we don't talk about the Musashi Samurai Legend. I think it's pronounced Musashi Samurai Legend, or is it just Samurai Legend Musashi? I don't know. That's how much I don't give a shit about that game. I never remember how I actually pronounced its name. All right. But thank you for the question, though, GG. Aaron Cookie is asking, hey, John, is this question in the street? Well, that's not even a question. It's a statement. You didn't put a question mark at the end of that. So the answer is no. Mega Master 1021 is asking, hey, John, what was the very first con you went to, whether it was by yourself or with a group? The very first convention that I can remember going to was the Video Game Expo in 2008 in the Pennsylvania Convention Center in downtown Philadelphia. That would be, I think, one of the last few dedicated video game conventions that were there in that particular area before they just stopped. I think it was underfunded, so they couldn't afford it anymore. But that was technically like my first ever convention experience that I can immediately recall. And it was basically just like what TMG was before it grew into a substantially larger convention than it is now.
Before Heritage Auctions.
Yes, before Heritage Auctions just stank up the whole fucking place. Oh man, I grade your presence a 3. But outside of that, I went there for, again, that was in 2008, and then like starting around 2011 and 12 is when I started going to TMG. And I've been going ever since. My first MomoCon was in 2013. My first PAX was in 2014, I want to say. My first MagFest was in 2015. I'm trying to think. There's one that is just right on the tip of my tongue that I'm not thinking. Oh, Wizard World. Back then it was called Wizard World. I think now it's just called Philadelphia Comic Con.
Damn.
What? You missed a wizard?
Yeah. I mean, I am the woo-woo wizard.
Yeah. I don't know why, man. I just got the image of you in a fucking black cloak with a big ass beard with a wooden stick. I am the woo woo wizard. It's like, where the fuck did you get that hat? But before then, I used to go to Wizard World Philadelphia. Elliot and I are probably actually thinking of going to Monster Mania in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I think that's in August. And I'm thinking of going to RetroCon actually for one day. That is a toy convention that is being hosted at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center, the same building as TMG. Just going there for a day. I'm not really announcing that kind of shit. It's just something that Elliot and I want to do in our time. But yeah, no, I've been humoring conventions for close to 20 years at this point. Cause I just like the vibe. I like to people watch. I like to see what's available in the vendors that I can reasonably afford, and then realize I can't, because the King James Bible on the Game Boy is $3,000 for some fucking reason, man. Why? Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna buy it, but that doesn't mean I don't succumb to weakness. I got this. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. But I did buy, fuck, I'll just get it right now. 1 second.
I think it's time to order a pepperoni pizza.
This was my most recent purchase at actually this past TMG. This is Magician's Valkyria from Yu-Gi-Oh! This was originally, I think she debuted in the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie, and since then she has not gotten any other additional support. But it's pretty much just like another like magician girl archetype that I got for very obvious reasons.
Too big for the jar.
Yeah. Hold on, yeah. I'll just buy a larger jar.
Let me get the base.
Yeah, that is from Yu-Gi-Oh! Chaos Alex.
Also, that one fucking ribbon on the front is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
No. You say, wait, one ribbon? No, because her design is very. I think it's supposed to be lingerie. Because actually she has two massive pink ribbons that run down her thighs that connect to her knees.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the blue ribbon is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, man, it's like there's always that thing where it's like, so what do you like some of your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh monsters in the franchise? And you go like, oh, I like the Magician Girls, and everyone's gonna give you that. That side eye.
So what's your favorite Digimon? Tries not to name any of the female ones that are just humans.
Yeah.
Big tits.
I know, but it's like, no one would ever believe me, but legit, I think one of my favorite things about the magician archetype, Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl otherwise, and I know it's weird for me to say it because I know you get like, her legs are just fucking out there, man. And like, you can see her ass. I'm not turning her around because you fucking guys are probably masturbating at the very sight of her right now. Is it weird for me that one of my favorite things about the magician archetype is the hat? Because I love the magician hats in Yu-Gi-Oh! I just love that they're like these segmented, armored, pointy things with like the orb on the side of the noggin. They're just like aesthetically very pleasing to look at. And I guess the ass is nice, sure. But I just like, man, that's a nice hat. But
I'm trying to think of the one that I liked. What am I thinking of? I'll have to come back to it.
Okay, I was drinking in the middle of that anyway. All right, is it Olbasque? Olbasq. I think that's how you pronounce it, Olbasque. Hey, John. I remember in your Kingdom Hearts reviews, you said you'd give a wink to the audience. You said they should give a wink to the audience, acknowledging how ridiculous the premise of the story is. I never agreed with this statement, as it just sounds like irony poison. I was wondering if you still felt that way these days. Hold on, let me read this question because I just want to make sure I got a grasp on this. You said they should give a wink to the audience, acknowledging how ridiculous the premise of the story is. I never agree with this as a statement. It just sounds like irony poison. I was wondering if you still felt that way to this days. No, not really, because I guess the problem that I had with the Kingdom Hearts storytelling, as a fan growing up with this since 2002, and when the series really started finding its foot and like expanding across these different worlds and realms and characters, it was just becoming really fucking hard to follow. But I didn't feel that there was a good enough reason for it. I now understand, especially as someone that likes to make their own sort of stuff with like my Final Fantasy 14 characters and like the OC stuff that I do. Sometimes you just want to make shit for the sake of it being cool. Fuck, Undertale, Deltarune, Toby Fox is the king of this shit, where there is rhyme and reason to what they do and how they write characters, but first and foremost, they do it because it's cool. They do it because they think it's neat. They think it's just a cool thing for just like, I'm going to have these characters do this, or to have this character be related to this, or yeah, there's like 4 different versions of Kairi, because you got Kairi and you got Naminé and then you got Xion and then you got, I think that's it, right? I think there's only 3. And it's like, on a surface level, I was bothered by this because it's like, fuck, man. It's like, do we really need to go this way? Do we need to do it this way? It's like, why go this way? I think I was so caught up in why when I really should just be settling on, well, why not? Because at the end of the day, as long as it's enjoyable or entertaining on a level that I can find, palpable, without it being nonsensical and pretentious. Nowadays, I'm more bothered by something that feels pretentious than something that is clearly just someone doing something because they think it's the coolest fucking shit and they just want to show off and share their love for something that with everyone else that also plays these games for a living. So I am I'm way less, I guess, meaner, for lack of a better description, on like Kingdom Hearts lore. But at the same time, that doesn't mean I give a shit about KH lore. I don't. Because at the end of the day, I am not heavily invested into a realm that is honestly just kind of hard to follow. And I feel I have to put a lot of homework into something that I don't think would mean that much to me at the end of the day. I take Kingdom Hearts games as they are, as released. Like when KH4 eventually comes out and I play that game and I review that game, I'm going to approach the plot summary the same as I did KH3. It's like, I know I'm missing the context of like some game out there that I have not played, but I do not care because I ultimately am not invested enough in that game's universe to put in the energy to research all that shit. I am a very casual KH enjoyer, and I'm going to keep my viewpoint very casual.
Found it.
Well, what do you got?
It was a Silent Magician.
Oh, Silent Magician. Oh, wait, the white-haired one?
Yeah.
There's 2 variants of it, though, I think. I think I might know which one you're talking about because I love her design, too. There is, I think there was a retrain of her that is just called The Silent Magician. And I think like her arm is up, like she's casting a spell and that sort of shit. Wonderful design. It is a very cool, like boss as fuck looking design that I would absolutely also get a figure of her if one was available. That said, if there is one available, if someone put me in the direction of that, I would happily appreciate that.
Right?
Ooh, looks like I'm getting 2 jars today. It goes to his Amazon page. Yeah. But hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, I think as the one thing that I ultimately have, I guess, gotten better about, the music just fucking cut off, that I've gotten better about as a observer and as a consumer of all types of different stories in different mediums, movies, books, video games, is that sometimes I don't need to get caught up into what is the metaphorical or allegorical reason for why an author writes the way they do. Sometimes it's just because they want to, and they feel as if they can entertain you by doing it this way. Take it or leave it. And sometimes it's not more than that, and it doesn't need to be more than that. And I think sometimes it's much better to just I'm not saying that you should turn your brain off, because I think it's always important to go into something with a set of critical thinking skills to really bask in the conversation that you can have afterwards. But also at the same time, not everything is going to be the fucking Casanova or the Casablanca or the Godfather of video games or what have you. Sometimes something exists as it is, and that is enough.
Who's playing smoke detector sounds? I'm not. So
I'm not playing smoke
that may just actually be a smoke detector.
No, it's not mine, because I just changed the fucking batteries of this one down here 2 days ago.
Oh, I just put in mine like 2 months ago.
Well, then someone is lying, or maybe the person who said that out loud is hearing their smoke detector and haven't changed their batteries.
There is that.
You should change your batteries. Fuck, now you got me listening. And shit. Like, I don't need this, man. Okay. Moving on here. Oh, let me re-up the music, because the music just kind of stopped. Oh, there's also a Morning Jazz with Kirby. Yeah, we'll put that on there. I do like Kirby music, like, for what it's worth. I know I'm indifferent to the franchise, but I do enjoy the music. Okay. Oh, where did I leave it off on? Tom Brew. Here we go. Hey, John, as a longtime fan of yours, I've noticed a lot of your YouTube friends would want you to make certain content, like review a specific game, let's play, make a sleeping channel, etc. Is this Ant? Which made me curious. What content do you want to see your YouTube friends make? All right, I'm gonna be that guy. Not that I am indifferent or ambivalent to it. I don't give a shit what my friends make, or my mutuals make, more specifically. I don't care if Ant wants to make a Let's Play series. I don't care if he wants to talk about what he ate last night. I don't care if he wants to do another retrospective over Yoshi a game. I don't care if Clement wants to make a retrospective series of videos on Mega Man, or if he wants to talk about fighting game stuff. At the end of the day, as their friend, I just hope I hope whatever they make makes them happy. I don't expect anyone to ever adhere to my particular interests, because they're not me. I'm me. If I want to talk about something, I'll talk about it. So that's generally where I fall in line with that. So hopefully that answers your question. But at the end of the day, I don't really care. Garrett.exe, Lamarcus, good evening. As a fellow lover of coffee, is there a brand or flavor of coffee or coffee creamer that you were disappointed to see was either discontinued or no longer available in your area? For me, it's Bailey's Irish Cream Coffee Creamer. It took the name right out of my mouth. It took the answer right out of my mouth. I hope you're doing well. Much love. Yeah, Bailey's Irish Cream was legit the tits. I think people still say that now. And I think Bailey's always prioritized the alcoholic variety of coffee creamer, which I think they still sell. But they had their non-alcoholic varieties too. They had caramel, they had Irish. Bailey's Irish coffee creamer was legit fucking amazing. And then they stopped selling it. Why? Now I have to rely on I have to rely on the Wawa brand, which is okay, but it doesn't hit the same as Bailey's. And then I have to rely on some other fucking great value brand that you get at Walmart. And it just doesn't taste the same, man. And the bottle design sucks. There's something very classy about Bailey's. That fucking like genie bottle tube like design with like the black label and the swirls. It was really cool to look at. And they don't sell them anymore, and I don't know why. But yeah, I absolutely share the same answer for that one, Garrett. So thank you very much for asking that question. Joy Alma is asking, hey John, I'm sitting in my room with no power in the middle of a super typhoon. Oh, this is the Bobby one that you mentioned yesterday. Since 2 a.m. It's 7 a.m. now. On Zoom Earth satellite, that cyclone is a big one. Listening in to break the silence and darkness in our room with the phone on data, the windows are shuttered and boarded up. First off, Alma, if you're still listening, I hope you're safe, because I know typhoons are not a fucking joke, especially I think in your neck of the woods. So more than anything, if it means anything coming from this guy, I hope you still remain safe, and hopefully things look up sooner rather than later, because fucking losing power for any reason, especially in the middle of a storm, ass. Okay, you're still here and you're sitting. Okay, hopefully everything is safe in your neck of the woods where you are right now. I hope your power comes back soon. When thinking about your OCs, have you drawn or discussed any shitpost interactions with them? Here's an example of my OC and friends. I'm sorry. Here's an example of my OC and my friends. Their OC dad is dead. The other is my friend OC needs supervision when he has tunnel vision for apples, his favorite fruit. Another would be Joan in the Link to the Past randomizer, finding nothing but rupees. Hee ho. Oh, so let me click on these to get proper context. We don't in this house.
You click on these, and now all of a sudden you got a fucking back door on your computer.
Yeah. It's like he fucking fell for it. He's an idiot. So
see, they're even laughing.
Do you when you're thinking about your OCs, you're not discussing any shitpost interactions with them. So outside of like when I'm doing like lore bits and shit, I do partake in the occasional shitpost with them in the context of their worlds. Actually, I think I might have an example of this. Hold on, let me check my folder real quick. Because I think I still have it.
Folder.
No, but dude, I have so many fucking pictures. Like it's actually kind of insane. But I don't remember where I put it at. Is this it?
If you look closely, chat, you can see his porn folder through his glasses.
First off, my porn folder is in a separate drive.
You don't do the thing where you change the folder icon to be just a transparency?
What? Oh, you mean like a hidden folder?
Yeah.
Oh, if I was smarter, I'd do that. But Jason, if it's transparent, how am I going to see it?
Well, only you know where it is.
I'm not fucking Wonder Woman with her invisible jet. I don't know where that shit's at. Do you know how often I miss? You can tell Elliot this too. If I actually ambush Elliot with this during his next Dead by Daylight stream or some other shit, did John lose his wallet again today? And I guarantee you he's going to laugh if you ask him that, because it happens to me all the goddamn time. John lost his wallet again. Why does he keep fucking forgetting where he put that shit at?
I can't do that anymore.
Let me share this picture that I make. This is something, an example of what I'm talking about. Because we had recently we had the Make It Rain event from Final Fantasy XIV, which is the Gold Saucer event. And the Gold Saucer event this year was like an otter theme, like the sea otter, but they put all like these statues of the otter in question. And Gold Saucer is already a very garish looking area, but it was very loud this year more than anything. And my Zaza's character, she hails from Solution 9. And if you know Solution 9, it's neon lights, it's cyberpunk-esque, very sci-fi. But my main character, Joan, thinks it's an eyesore. There's purple and blue everywhere. So there was
yeah, we don't like frisk in this house.
So I made this post here. This is what I do in my spare time. This is about the closest that I make to a shit post here, because it's like that is on the source. That is not Solution 9. And it's like this is what I like to do in my spare time, and I can't stress enough. I have so many of these kind of images that I just make on my spare time, because I love developing my characters. I love developing Joan. I love developing, because I especially love developing Romani, and I love developing Zazas. And at some point or another, when I'm less insecure about it, I will happily share it with you guys. But right now, I'm not going to, because I'm not ready to share that part of my creative flourishes with you guys yet. But I can't stress enough how much I love spending time just doing that, because that is also just a hobby of mine. We're talking about, I think it was Adam Bomb that asked earlier, what do I do when I'm burnt out with something? Fucking, especially if for whatever reason I'm burnt out from doing something 14 related in the game, I'll just do something with my characters, which is still tangentially 14 related, but I love just doing that kind of shit, dude, because it's like I'll show you guys another example. I just recently did a really big a lore chapter for myself that again I only share with a few friends. But I do a lot of fucking G-posing magic and trickery with like Photoshop and shit, and like third-party tools. I mean, I've made it known that I use mods for like G-posing and all that sort of shit. But I make some. I like to think that I've gotten really fucking good at doing that kind of stuff, and I can do stuff like let me see here. Let me show another example that I can show off here. Where is it? There's so many screenshots. I'm sorry. It is no, that's explosion. Yeah, here's one.
Explosion.
Like stuff like this. Like these two fighting right now. This is in part some lighting and visual effects stuff in 14, but also like stuff that I've did in Photoshop. I'm really happy. I'm really proud how this image turned out. I have another one that is right here. This is my love letter to Saban's Fire Dance from Final Fantasy VI. One day I am going to show you guys this stuff. Anyone that plays Final Fantasy 14. I am going to legit show you stuff because I do put a lot of time and effort into this stuff. I've had to cut roulette sessions, sort of trios. Could probably back me up on this one where it's like I'm G-posing. I got to do a rain check because I don't want to like do roulettes right now. But this is legit one of my favorite pastimes right now in 14. And one day I hope to properly share that with you guys when I am more secure about it. But thank you for the question, though, Amma. I hope that was more about what you're looking for.
You know, chat, if you ever want to do something for TMG next year, you could always look up his character and whatnot and 3D print it and then bring it to him as a gift.
That sounds expensive. I know we were talking about like doing doodads and that sort of shit, but you don't got 3D print me anything. Like, it's fine. No one's ever going to replace the dildo and the Samus Arcade.
Bro, the signed dildo is still a wild
I think that's
story.
still probably my best convention story in terms of just like, what's the weirdest thing you ever signed? Damn, someone just gave me a fucking dildo to sign. Like, I'm not kidding. But all right, so moving on. Ian is asking, hey John, what are some of your favorite remixes featured in Ultimates in 14? And are there any remixes you like to see in future Ultimates? I personally love the Rise remix in T, and hope for the White Stone Black remix in the future Pandemonium Ultimate. I mean, White Stone Black is amazing. I'm not much of a fan of the Primals version of White Stone Black. I actually really like the original composition more. That sounds straight out of Tekken. But I would love to. Honestly, I know it's not going to be for like another 2 years, given the release schedule in 14. I can't wait for Arcadian Ultimate. Like, I cannot wait for Arcadian Ultimate because I actually really do enjoy a lot of the Primals versions of some of the Arcadian battle themes, and I can't wait to see if that's going to be used in the context of the fight itself. But again, it's not going to be for a while. I hope Pandemonium Ultimate is okay because I don't give a fuck about Pandemonium. But that's for Endwalker. We'll say that for later. D Money is asking, hey John, I wanted to know what is the best advice for starting Final Fantasy 14?
He's not even gonna ask me.
What? Do you don't play 14?
Hey, I can still lie and say escape.
You can say that because of Monster Hunter for sure. But there's already been Omega's already been in an Ultimate and it sucks. D Money is asking, I wanted to know what is the best advice for starting Final Fantasy 14. Play again. This is someone I was talking about this earlier. I'll keep it brief. Play at your own pace. Do not feel compelled to rush through everything. Take your time. It is going to be a slow burn. It's going to be a very slow burn. It's a very linear MMO. There's a lot of story to read and experience. Take your time, bask in it. The game's not going anywhere. And as from one player to another, read your tooltips. Learn how your buttons combo into each other and how you can get the most out of it. Because if you do that, you're already better than like 80% of the other casuals that play the game. I hope you enjoy yourself more than anything, though. Emil is asking, what are some of your favorite romances in video games? Ooh, romances. I love Cloud and Tifa's dynamic in 7. That's the first one that came to mind. Because there are layers to it that I feel makes it very grounded and human in regards to how Tifa handled her traumatic experiences and how she tried her damnedest to help Cloud deal with their traumatic experiences when all it comes together at the end of towards the end of disc, or towards the middle of disc 2, more accurately. And I that's one that immediately comes to mind. Other romances. I'm trying to think of other romances in video games that I really like. I'm trying to think of like non-Final Fantasy examples. This is hard because
I think it was really touching whenever I think it was touching whenever Chris gave Noelle the ring.
But sorry, I had to think about that. I had to think of that for a second. What's funny is because when you said Chris, my immediate thought was Chris Redfield and not Chris Deltarune. So I had to think about that for a second. But I'm actually drawing a blank here because I know some of you are saying Luigi and Daisy, but I don't think the games have done enough with that to really properly demonstrate it outside. Like to me, the Luigi and Daisy dynamic is no deeper than the Mario and Peach dynamic. The only exception I could think of is because I saw this for myself in one of the sports games where it's Luigi presenting a trophy to Daisy, and Daisy is just all kinds of flirtatious with Luigi, but in a very sweet and innocent way. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, that's actually really adorable. And I don't think Peach has ever done that for Mario. So if anything, that is kind of like a level deeper. So like, I would call him there. Yeah, and Daisy calls him honey. That's really nice. It's really cute. But I think we need more of that. I want to see more of that if Nintendo is interested in doing more of that. And I think they have the opportunity in the third Mario movie. Will they do it? I'm not sure. Remains to be said, or remains to be seen. But I think as of now, we still don't have just enough of it yet to call it a true romance. Outside of that, though, I outside of Cloud and Tifa, that's the only one that immediately comes to mind off the top of my head. I'm legit drawing a blank on a romance I particularly enjoy in a video game that I like playing, or at least I'm aware of.
Majima and Makoto and Yakuza 0.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I fucking teared up at the end of that one. And I guess in a way, Nier and Kaine. If you can get over the whole
some were mentioning
age thing, that's
Nier.
a little weird.
Some were mentioning Nier, and I don't have the context, so I can't agree.
It's just there's some timey-wimey gymnastics that you have to get over, because you know the game starts with Kaine's a grown-ass woman and Nier's a child.
Master G, you say Sora and Kairi. And I don't know, like,
hey, Ian, I can't even say Link and Midna because you're talking about video games. I'd say Link and Midna for the manga, yes, but for the actual game, no.
The only thing that bothers me about Sora and Kairi in Kingdom Hearts, again,
Sora and Riku.
This just goes. No, that's kind of the thing. Is there is something very traditionalist about the Sora and Kairi relationship that I just find very milquetoast by comparison compared to Sora and Riku. Because if I went into Kingdom Hearts with no context whatsoever, I would think that Sora and Riku were gay for each other. And I don't mean that as like a snide remark or anything. No, genuinely, unironically, I would think the two had the hots for each other, and that's like, oh, that's beautiful. But
that's what Riku's voice actor pretty much did.
But it's also the only reason why I still kind of think that is because I have no doubt that Sora and Kairi, they absolutely, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. They care for each other. They are very important to each other. But if you were to ask me, do you think they're in a relationship? I would honestly, God, no. I don't think they're a relationship. I just think they're really good friends. I know that sounds weird, but I think more than anything, if there's one game that needs to, if they honest to God want to commit to the Sora X Kairi ship, you do it in Kingdom Hearts 4. more than anything, if you are absolutely certain that this is where you want the relationship to go, you need Kingdom Hearts 4 to establish that, given the context of how Sora is in the predicament he is in right now.
Okay, no, a big one that I'm surprised no one's mentioned. Big Boss and Ocelot.
I mean, yeah.
No, like seriously,
No,
Ocelot
like
would
genuinely,
go to the ends of the earth.
Ocelot
for Big
would
Boss.
do everything for Boss. I know someone said Naked Snake
He
and
has
Eva
done it.
early.
Like, you got to think about, like, he's done everything from
Yeah.
the beginning for Big Boss.
Yes. You know, because someone in the chat mentioned like Naked Snake and Eva, and it's like there's something there, but it's I don't think it's, and again, it's nothing much more than good friends and shit. You know, but Ocelot,
Friends with benefits.
friends with benefits, I think is a good way of putting it. Not that Eva. I mean, Eva does genuinely respect Snake at the end of it, especially by 4. You know, they would die for Big Boss and his ideals and beliefs. But Ocelot, I think, takes the cake. Like, genuinely speaking, in terms of just like truly loving this man, and it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Like, he dedicated like 40 fucking years of his life.
And if
to
you
this
want,
man.
you want further proof of this, Ocelot made Mount Rush Snake. Eva didn't, and that's because Ocelot really cares for Big Boss. I'm just.
And I mean, Ocelot had that dementia moment and thought that Snake was Big Boss. And,
Yeah.
you know, goes and gives him the kiss.
Snake. I can hear it from here. God, Metal Gear is so fucking stupid, but I love it, man. It's so stupid, but I love it. All right. Sorry for taking so long to answer that, though, Emil. All right, so Nick, so we're at 6:30 here. We're probably going to go for like another 10 minutes because I did start a little late. Nikki Brisk is asking, "Hey John, Star 2. I was wondering if you played Chapter 5 of Deltarune and what you thought of it. Also, what do you think of ranking for all your Deltarune chapters from best to worst?" All right, so we're gonna go into this next Sunday because that's when I'm starting my Chapter 5 playthrough. I want to stress again, I've already played Chapter 5 for myself. I always play Deltarune chapters for myself. There's no fucking way I'm playing these blind on stream, and I very much enjoyed the chapter itself. I do somewhat agree with some of the critiques saying that it does feel kind of low stakes, but at the same time, I think it needed to be, given that where the story is heading, especially like if you've seen everything like involving everything in every route. But I loved where things went. And so, again, we really should just save it for next Sunday. Is it one of my favorite chapters? No. I still think my favorite is probably Chapter 2. Because I was thinking about it, was it Rob earlier in the week, Spider Knife, was ranking all the chapters, and he was like ranking, it's like, none of these have still come close to Chapter 2. And we want to stress, we're still talking about like comparing a 9.5 to like a 9.4. They're all good. They're all great even. But to me, none of them has quite hit the mark as what, because Chapter 2, I loved to death, man. Like, it is legit still one of the highest points I have in my Deltarune experience. And I loved all the video game callbacks of Chapter 3. I love Tenna to death. And Chapter 4 is just, there's so much there. There's so much in everything about Deltarune. It's legit why I love talking about it, I love playing it. But if we're talking about in piecemeal as a separate entity, I think Chapter 2 still has it the best. But again, we're going to save that until next week because we're going to be talking Deltarune the whole fucking thing. And then we're going to talk about what I love about Chapter 5 specifically. And you guys probably already know where I'm going with that. So.
No, you had mentioned that you were waiting till Chapter 5 to do a weird route as well. So are we going to go back and do 3 through 5's weird route?
No, actually, because there's barely any game in Weird Route Chapter 5. Like,
But you haven't done 3 or 4.
No, but like, you're not wrong. The problem is that there's so little changed in 3 about the Weird Route that we're essentially just playing 3 again with a few differences here.
You can skip 3,
yeah,
for sure.
And I know there's a substantial amount of changes for 4, but then 5, again, without really giving away anything, there's barely any fucking story in 5 Weird Route. Not to say that 5 Weird Route doesn't have things, because holy shit, dude. Again, we're gonna talk about it next Sunday, but legit, Chapter 5 Weird Route, if that already didn't make me super uncomfortable about the Weird Route and what it entails, 5 actively grosses me out. Like, legit disturbs me over, like, fuck, man. Like, we're a piece of shit. Like, we are genuinely a awful, awful person. And it is very effective in its execution. Maybe I should use a different word. But God, I do feel gross about it. I do feel genuinely gross about it, and I'm not sure if I'm willing to cross that threshold outside of doing it for the content. But I feel it's a very artificial means of doing something. You know what I mean? You know, where's my agency? I think
you'll proceed anyway.
Fuck you. Sorry, Jason, I can't hear you when you're fucking 6 feet underwater. All right, but we'll save that for next week, though, because we're gonna save all there. So, all right, what do we leave off on? Moody Blues is asking, yep, was curious if you ever played Rebirth in the Shake Shack Discord, or it's just something you like to tackle by yourself. Wait, Rebirth is too vague. Are we talking 7 Rebirth? Are we talking, was P3 that was Rebirth?
No, it's Reloaded.
It's Reloaded. Okay, well, there goes that joke. No, like Rebirth would absolutely just be something I play for myself. That is something that I would eventually like to play for a stream series, given that I feel it's the perfect kind of game to play for a stream. Just a whole bunch of John playing Queen's Blood.
Binding of Isaac Rebirth, I think.
Yeah. I feel that there are like 3 other games that have the Rebirth subtitle that I'm just blanking on, and I don't know what. But
now there was a lot coming out like in the next 12 months or whatever.
Yeah.
That have the Revelations title.
Yeah. 7, Persona. Actually, no, I think Revelations is the first title of Persona 1. The Persona is the subtitle of the first game. Actually.
Persona was the subtitle, yes.
Yeah. Which is so weird, thinking about it. But no, 7 Rebirth is something I will play for Twitch later after I've already finished it for myself. Because like, I don't like playing blind for RPGs anymore, especially after Octopath Traveler. Because it turns out that
when John... Here, chat.
What? Just say it.
He's going to play it on stream around the time he plays Uncharted 3 on stream.
As it turns out, playing a RPG blind on a Twitch stream means that John can't appreciate the story at all, and that's primarily a big reason why I play RPGs in the first place. I hope that answers that, Moody Blues. Jess is asking, guess I'll ask the second question. My favorite type of food to celebrate American Day? No, I'll ask the second question. Favorite type of food to celebrate American Day? I noticed everyone was talking about hot dogs yesterday. I just had fried chicken the other day. I don't really celebrate Independence Day that much anymore. I don't really like fireworks, especially after the Missile Macross incident of 1999. Did I not share this story? I'll share it again real quickly. So one of the last years that we lit, in my old neighborhood, my folks and the neighbors, we were very much those guys that went across the state to New Jersey to buy the fireworks that were illegal in Pennsylvania, and then we just lit them up and that sort of shit. And on one of the last years that we did that, I was in charge of one of the fireworks that I was in charge of was one of like those small box ones, or like 100 like little rockets that shoot up into the sky. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. I was in charge of lighting that one up. What I didn't realize is that I lit it upside down, and when it started going off, the rockets needed to go somewhere, so they went up slightly, and then I shit you not, they made a hard 90-degree turn and started going horizontal in many directions. And people started ducking and covering because they were fearing for their lives, seeing this miniature box suddenly spell their doom. And nobody got hurt. I want to emphasize, no one got hurt. And we ultimately laughed at the end of it because of that. But also it was like, fuck, John, that was really embarrassing. But it was also quite a sight to behold because there were so many little bottle rockets that went off at once.
Similar situation 12, 13 years ago. That was the last time I bought fireworks. And my grandmother was lighting the fucking drum one. So it looks like, it kind of looks like a DK barrel. And it's the same thing where it shoots off rockets in the barrel. And she's very paranoid about lighting it and stuff.
Yeah.
And so when she lights it and when she's in the middle of running back, she accidentally kicks it over. And so you see this cylinder just spinning and firing in all directions, shooting at the car, shooting at the house, shooting at the neighbor's house. It was, yeah.
It was. Someone in the chat was mentioning it's like the Labubu missile. It's exactly like that, actually, but it was smaller and there was 100 of them. I was like, fuck, man, I was only 12 years old, but fuck, I felt so stupid, man. And I was scared for my life. It was like, my mom is going to kill me.
Also, please stop playing with fireworks, y'all. Like, dude, why do we give children sparklers?
Oh my God.
You know that sparklers burn so hot that they're one of the few things that's used to ignite thermite.
Yeah, it's great for Vox engines. Come on, what's the harm? All right, I'm probably gonna take one more question, and then we're gonna call it here. I'm sorry I couldn't get to everybody in time for this one, but I do want to break for food before we begin the DBZ Kakarot stream for tonight. So I will end with Alice Rashi. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce the name. Howdy, John. I wanted to know what's the most ignorant moment you've experienced playing Uno or something similar. The most ignorant moment I've experienced playing Uno or something similar? I have a recent example. I know. I have a recent example of this actually. This past TMG, when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh with Russ, and one of Russ's decks, his Counter Fairy stuff, has a card called Inspector Border or something like that. It has a really fucking stupid gimmicky effect where you're limited on the amount of effects you can activate based on the different types of monsters you have on the field. It's a really fucking obnoxiously difficult to comprehend card. And there was one point where I was so caught up in making sure I can do a legal move or a legal chain that I convinced Russ that everything that was happening was on my turn and not his, when in reality it was still his turn and he didn't battle or do anything yet, and I was gaslighting the fuck out of him thinking that no, Russ, it's still my turn and I haven't attacked yet. And then he fucking did the whole thorough check to check this graveyard and that sort of shit. It's like, no, John, it's still my turn. It's like, fuck, man, I hate Yu-Gi-Oh. I fucking hate Yu-Gi-Oh because sometimes effects and stuff, they chain together and last so long that I dead ass just forgot whose turn it was. And I was so convinced that I was right that I was just dead set. I was like, no, Russ, I'm pretty sure it's still my turn, man. And it's like, no, John, it's still mine. I was like, yeah, you're right. I ran it back with him. I was like, no, you're fucking right, man. I thought it was my turn and it's not. That's only because I did all these chains as a response to this fucking card that I just lost track of everything and I just felt like an idiot. So, yeah. I fucking hate that card, by the way. Border still used in annoying stun decks to this day. Yeah, Border just, if I see you run Border, I'm slapping you in the fucking face. Then I'm gonna apologize. I fucking hate, and I'm saying this as someone that runs Skill Drain and other decks. I know, like, and the Skill Drain I know like can make people tilted for different reasons too. But fuck, man, I hate Inspector Border because it's just an obnoxiously obtuse card. It's like, why does this exist? Just fucking run Skill Drain. But all right, well. We're going to call it a wrap here for this session of the community Q&A. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and just being a part of the conversation. We had some real winners today, just in terms of just questions asking, the conversations we had afterwards. I am going to be taking about half hour for myself to just get some food, and then we will reconvene. Let's put a time frame on this, like around 7:20, 7:30ish. We will start DBZ Kakarot. We'll return to that one because I think now we're starting the Android stuff. And I got some rust to shake off because I have not played that game in about 2 months. That should be quite an experience. And after that, we'll just see how we're feeling, and then we will. I will get back to work on the Anton Blast video. But in the meantime, let's see if there's any mutuals on. We're gonna go raid someone. Ryan's on. We're gonna go raid Ryan. Let's see. Is it just near, man? Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, there we go. All right, guys, that's Ryan from Brain Scratch. Send him my love, and I will catch you guys for DBZ Kakarot in about like 40 minutes. Have a good night, everybody. See you soon.